Hey everybody, Hoopsmiles here for a live hula hoop class. So before we get into this class, I wanted to get your feedback about something. So I realized, this class, we don't have very much time in terms of the live setup here. So I want it to be effective, and I want to be able to give you as much hula hoop knowledge as I can. So my question is, what can make this live experience better for you? So please, comment in the comment section there. You don't have to comment now. You can think about it. You can come back and comment on this video. I've already gotten some feedback that, if you do a live setup here and you don't have like a focus, like, oh, for this particular class, we're going to be doing, just shoulder hooping and working on that it might be more challenging for some people if it doesn't actually have a specific focus or something like that. But yeah, let me know, your opinion. Do you want a focused class? Do you want me to schedule a class? I also had someone mention, something about they think that I should be getting paid to do this. Would you rather sign up for a class and pay for the class? Or do you like the idea of this being a free class that everybody can participate in? And if people decide, they can make a donation. Obviously that would make this class very exclusive, and people that are in places where they can't afford a class would definitely not be able to do the class. And I think when I first started this and I saw, oh, people are giving me money, donating to this, I thought, oh, how can I make money off this? But I think, one of the biggest reasons I'm doing this, or why I want to do this now, is like, I feel like, I want to make a difference for people. I want to teach people how to hula hoop. And I realize, like I said, not everybody may even be able to afford even just $10, depending on where you are in the world. So, so please give me your inputs on that. I would love that, because I want to improve this class, and I want to make it more I want to make it more effective, so I'm not just wasting your time, and I'm not just talking out of my butt here and just speaking gibberish, hula hoop gibberish. So but anyways, just want to put that in your hearts. Please leave your feedback and let me know what you think. Hello, everybody. Hello, Carla. It's good to see you again, as always. I think you've now been to all of my classes. Karen hoops a lot. Good to see you as well. Okay, I like that. So we got some feedback here from Carla. You could do a focus for half the class and then Q&A for the last half. Yeah, that's a pretty good idea. I guess my question would be then, what would you want me to focus on? What are some topics of hula hoop classes that you would like to see in the future, that you would like to see as a focus? Karen hoops a lot. I see a need for both. Yes. That is good to hear. I think what's great about the live feature here is we can take advantage of people asking me questions. So I think that if I just did a focus and didn't do any sort of question answer, that may take away from, the whole experience that we can get from this live feature. Carla also wrote, I would pay, but yeah, I agree there's a need for both. So did I already read that one? Forgive me if I already read that one. But yeah, when I was doing this class last Tuesday at the same time, there was a moment where when I first started the class, like, I started to freak out, and I was like, wow, I don't really want to do this right now. And so then I think I kind of got caught up and I wasn't fully present during the class. I realized I'm very new at this whole live streaming thing. I know very little about this, so forgive me, everybody. Please be patient with me out there. And yeah, thank you for being a part of this. In a way, it's like my own experiment. So in this sense, I think it's great to have this class be free, because you're giving me the opportunity to get experience points under my belt at this whole live stream, because I want it to be fun for me too. And last week I was pretty stressed. Like I said, I wasn't as present, and I got caught up in a lot of my thoughts and just kind of, I just want this to be done. And I don't want to do a hula hoop class like that. I want it to go on forever. Let's see here. Carla writes, we could learn a progressive flow, like learn a sequence. Well, that's pretty cool. Thank you, Carla. She thinks I'm doing great. All right. So with that said, like I said, I didn't want to focus too much. My 5 minutes is up on that topic. I want to put it out there. Bring on your questions. Bring on your hula hooping questions. What would you like to learn this evening? I think for the time being, we'll still stick to the Q&A portion for this class, and I'll consider your feedback. Please write feedback. I'll look back at that later. So let's move on to the Q&A portion here. I haven't actually warmed up yet, so I'm just gonna kind of do a little stretching. Does everybody else warm up before they hula hoop? I feel like now that I'm getting older, I definitely have to stretch my body, warm up a little bit before I start hula hooping, or else my body starts hurting. So I'm just gonna do some little warm ups here. I honestly haven't actually hula hooped this much this last week, and I almost canceled this live event because it snowed a bunch here in Seattle, which is really rare, and the roads were pretty iced over, so I almost canceled this. So it's cool that I can even be here. So let's see here. Does anybody have any questions? Anything that they would like to learn in this particular class? I know some of the things we looked at in the past were some isolations. I love isolations. Isolations are a great thing. Nobody's done this one yet, but I can also teach people foot hooping as well, how to hula hoop on your foot. So if you want to learn some foot hooping, that's a possibility. I know we did some leg hooping. Leg hooping is amazing. It's awesome. I know we didn't do one leg hooping, but that might be too advanced to do some one leg hooping. There's also, we could walk with our hula hoops while doing leg hooping, which I love this, because the problem with leg hooping is you can get stuck in one spot. And it's like, what are you supposed to do, right? But that's why I love walking, because then I can practice dancing and other things while doing that. So let's see. I see some other people. Yes, foot hooping. Han or Han. Forgive me if I missay your names here. I feel like I'm horrible at understanding how to pronounce people's names, or at least I feel like that way in some of these classes here. Isolations. My hoop wobbles. Latrinia? Did I say your name right? Hopefully I did. Okay. So we got one for foot hooping. And let's see. Han writes, I tried to put the hoop on my foot and then swung it to my back, but it was so hard. Yes. Okay. Since I haven't focused on foot hooping, let's do a little foot hooping. I think that sounds fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my shoes off. So hopefully everybody's prepared to do some foot hooping. Now, when you do foot hooping, I do recommend using a smaller sized hoop. It can be much easier to foot hoop with a smaller hoop than a bigger hoop. So just for the fun of it, I'm going to grab a smaller hoop. Got my hoops right here, and I'm barefoot. I recommend taking off your shoes and being barefoot, because the hoop is going to stick way better to your bare feet than it will to your shoes. Trust me. So when you learn foot hooping, for the people that have never learned foot hooping before, I recommend first learning how to vertical foot hoop. So instead of laying on your back, which a lot of people will do, stand up. And I actually recommend balancing on one foot and take your hoop and just put your foot inside it like this and spin the hoop over your foot, the part that's between your toes and your heel, and voila, you can foot hoop in a vertical position like this. And the key here is basically you're just keeping your foot so that it's parallel to the ground like this, and you're just kind of moving your foot, rotating it around to keep that hoop going. Now, for the people that are struggling, because I realize this can be really hard if you're first learning how to do vertical foot hooping, because when you're doing this, it's really easy to fall, right? So that's why I grabbed this handy dandy chair. If you happen to have a chair or a wall or a pillar or something that you can grab onto, actually, I'm going to put it on this side of me. Hold on to the chair. Stand on one foot. Now, you can do foot hooping on either left or your right foot. Hold on to the chair. Put that, whoops, I'm getting weird here. Actually, you know what? I might need to put it on the right side of me. Okay, hold on to the chair, and voila. Now you've just solved your balancing issue by holding on to a chair while doing your vertical foot hooping. And what I recommend is get better at just learning the basic movements with your foot to keep that hoop up. It's very similar to spinning the hoop on your hand, but instead, just imagine, instead, you're doing it on your foot. But as you get better with the whole balancing thing, because I feel like the balancing part can be really tricky, then you can take the chair away and you can just practice spinning that on your foot. And as that hoop is spinning on your foot, you can then practice going back to your hand, going back to your foot, and so on. Lots and lots of fun. I'm going to check in, see how everybody's doing here. How is everybody doing? Ooh, I'm already feeling better during this class than compared to last class. All right, so let's see here. Yes, you said it right. So cool. Awesome. That is awesome. I'm glad that that was so cool. So hopefully that was some good tips there. You made it look easy. Well, actually, it can be easy. Like I said, if you have like a pillar or a wall to put your hand onto, I mean, that's the key, is because you have to first learn how to keep that hoop up on your foot, and the balance. If you take the balance issue out of it, so much easier. And really, you know, and that's why it's important to have a small hoop, because if you have a big hoop like this one, here, I'll try it with a big hoop, and you get your foot too low, see it hits the ground and it just doesn't work. So I recommend using your foot hooping with a smaller hoop. Now, the reason why I showed you that technique of standing up and spinning the hoop on your foot first in that vertical position is because it helps to train you to learn how to, see if I can do this here. Okay, there's my lovely foot in the camera. To just keep that hoop up on your foot and get comfortable with foot hooping. Like I said, you want to keep it up between your toes and your heel, and you want to kind of find the sweet spot is right there in the middle. And like I said, you're just kind of rotating your foot around to keep that up. And what's nice about vertical foot hooping is you can use gravity to your benefit because it's less likely that hoop will just fall off. Whereas when you lay on your back, now let's get into some back hooping. Well, not back hooping, foot hooping while laying on my back. That's where the gravity issue becomes more of a problem. So let me try to actually move this down here, get a better shot. Forgive me if all you see is a really bad view of something right now. Okay. Let's see. Can you guys see me here? Okay, there we go. Oh, that's not bad. All right. So now, if you have room in your house or wherever you're doing this right now, you can lay on your back and try to foot hoop in a horizontal position. And so that's why I was saying it's so important, or I think it's so important to learn how to foot hoop in the vertical position, because gravity can take effect and that hoop starts to come down and then it can just fall. Okay, so when you first learn how to foot hoop in the horizontal position, what I recommend doing is just like you did in the vertical position, start that hoop right in between your heel and your toes, and take one of your, or take your other hand, and I actually recommend to kind of put it here to kind of block your face, because when you first learn this trick, there's a good chance that hoop is going to come down and hit you in the face. So I recommend to, block your face from that happening. And as that hoop starts to slide down but below your ankle, the hoop is pretty much toast. So what I would do is just stop the hoop and start over. You want to keep that hoop in between your toes and your heel. And you have to give it a nice good spin. And just like you were doing vertical foot hooping, there's a lot of, let's see if I can get a better shot here. Look at that. There's my foot. Notice my foot. I'm just kind of moving my foot from side to side, forwards and backwards, just to keep that hoop going. Yes, I see, and it's cool. I can see your stuff here. It's like Laternia says, yes, I'm always afraid is going to be hitting my face. Yes, that is something that can happen. Han writes, haha, the amount of times I knock my face with my hoop. Yes, there is a lot of face knocking that can happen from foot hooping. But that doesn't need to happen if you practice enough and you also block your head. So yeah, so once that hoop really is on your foot, really this is the key right here, because there's so many different things you can learn. Like what I would start practicing doing once you do get it on your foot is actually bringing your foot in different areas, including even all the way down here, which this is a very advanced sort of position, but this will help you become better at foot hooping. So the way you get to those sort of more advanced positions is first master your foot hooping like this, with just the foot, with the hoop on your foot above you, and then just work on slowly, you know, moving that hoop to other locations, other positions, and go from there. And also you can practice switching to the other foot. It's very similar to hand hooping, except you're using your feet. So I would recommend that and getting good at foot hooping on both feet. So yes. Woo. Okay, let's come back to this here. All right, how is everybody doing? Okay, foot hooping is fun for everybody. Okay, let's see. Looks like an ab workout. Yeah, maybe it is. I guess I never thought about that, but I guess foot hooping is an ab workout. So do you want to learn any more foot hooping stuff, or do you want to go on to something else? That's my question for the people watching right now. When you're doing that, I don't know why I brought this chair, but when you're doing the vertical foot hooping, you know, there's other tricks. You know, I think someone mentioned, like, what are some combo tricks that we could learn? Well, with this vertical foot hooping, you can eventually learn to toss the hoop and then catch it on your hand. So very similar to tossing the hoop with your hand. Instead, you're tossing it with your foot. And I recommend practicing that. You know, when you first do this, the hoop is probably going to go and go all the way across the room, and you might break something. So if you're in a very place where there's a bunch of fragile items around, I may not try this immediately, but yeah, it's very much like I said, using your hand to toss the hoop, but instead you're just tossing the hoop up with your foot, and then you catch it on your hand and keep spinning it. So that's a nice combo trick that's really fun. And if you want to get really tricky, because I think this is even harder, toss the hoop up with your hand, and then toss the hoop up with your hand and then kick it with your foot until it flies away. No, that's not the trick. Toss the hoop up with your hand and then catch it on your foot. I feel like that's even harder than tossing the hoop up with your foot and then catching it on your hand. Okay, so let me see if anybody wrote any more things that they would like to learn. Woo, okay. Laugh now. Alligator, thank you for joining us. This is amazing. You're amazing. Okay. Eternia writes, moving arms in and out of a hoop, moving hoop is difficult for me. Okay, that's something we can maybe look at here. Yes, my hoop flies everywhere. That's why I need to hoop outside. Han, yes, this is true. This can happen. Hooping outside is a good place to hoop. Oh, okay, laugh now, alligator. As simple as it looks, I have super hard time with escalators. Okay, so let's go to moving arms in and out of the hoop. We'll look at that one first. So I guess my question is, moving arms in and out of the hoop. There's a bunch of different places on the body where you can hoop. move your arms in and out of the hoop. So are you referring to moving your arms in and out of the hoop when the hoop is kind of more at your waist like this, and you're just like, I'm putting my hands in and I'm just going to keep my hands in? Or do you want it up at the chest and you're moving your arms in and out of the hoop when the hoop is around your chest? So there's many different ways you can move your arms in and out of the hoop. So I just wanted to get clear on that part. And I forgot, what was the other? Oh yeah, the escalator. Yeah, I can do like a basic escalator here. Okay, so got clear on that. So in and out of the hoop around the chest. So I know I talked about this, I think, a little bit in the first class. So chest hooping. Yeah, so very first tip number 1. Chest hooping is going to be way easier if you use a larger hoop. So if at all possible, if you can use a larger hoop, that is the way to go. And then as you get better, you can always move down to a smaller hoop. I actually bring my larger hoop here just because I sometimes just use it as a demonstration. I know I did this before, but yes, this is my giant size hoop. You guys are awesome, by the way, for taking the time to watch my hula hoop class. All right. Hooray, we have 8 people watching currently right now. Okay, yeah. So a larger hoop, this is super big, but it's actually going to be easier. So first tip, use a bigger hoop. See how much slower that hoop goes and how much easier it is for me to get my hands in and out. Second tip for the chest hoopers. If you are using your smaller hoop, spin in the same direction that your hoop goes. This is going to be easier to move your arms in and out of the hoop. The next tip for the chest hoopers, start with the hoop around your neck. And I think I did this technique before. And actually start with the hoop around your neck and put your arm, one of your arms in the air. It doesn't really matter. Thank you, Carla, for the $15 donation. I really appreciate that. So start with one arm up in the air and take your other hand and spin that hoop around your neck while your arm is up. And so this is the first technique. And so you want to get used to this, okay? Get used to that hoop going around your neck and your armpit. And then once you've done one side, practice the other side with your other arm. The reason why is because I feel like this may be an easier way to get to hooping around your chest and bringing your arms in and out of the hoop. And then practice switching, and then switch again, and then switch again. So this is something I recommend doing, and this will actually help you get to be able to, in my opinion, learn to move your arms in and out easier. Because, you know, right here, when you keep it around your chest, this can be challenging. And so you might need to learn some more of the basic sort of how to get into chest hooping to begin with. And I believe hooping around your neck and your armpit is very helpful. But if you use a bigger hoop, that's going to like probably solve all your problems. And what I always tell people is use bigger hoops and then go small. So start big and go small. Let's see, something else. What's something else? Also, too, I would recommend, I would also ask, like, how are you with your chest hooping? When you hoop around your chest, is that hoop actually staying there? Because sometimes people that struggle with moving their arms in and out might not be the best chest hoopers, and you might need to improve your chest hooping to begin with. So my question is, can you even just keep the hoop up around your chest? And see, me, even with this hoop, I even have to spin around. I don't even know if I can stay in one spot, keep it up, because the spinning around is so important. But yes, can you even just keep the hoop up around your chest? So I would say if you can't, then you might want to become better at chest hooping first before you start to get more into the moving your arms in and out of the hoop. Also, it's helpful to learn chest hooping in both directions. Yes, learn how to chest hoop in both directions, because when that hoop does start to fall, sometimes just doing a little reversing hoop action can help reestablish the hoop and balance it out. So I recommend learning chest hooping in both directions. I know that may not have been the best advice for doing the hands, because some people might just want to woo and do all this stuff right now, but sometimes getting those basic sort of chest hooping maneuvers down first will be the most helpful. So hopefully that helped. See here. Yes, definitely try that. Okay, so I'm gonna come back. I remember somebody had escalators. Yes, let's look at that escalator. Okay, so we got about 15 minutes or so left. The escalator, fun trick. So I'm just gonna show you a basic escalator. I actually did a tutorial on this. So the one leg escalator, which looks like this. This is the one leg escalator, which goes up to your hand into lasso position, spinning it. So I'm just going to tell you how to do this trick. It's you know, though it looks really cool, it's actually not the hardest of tricks. So the key here is just hold that hoop underhand in front of you, and then bring it to the side. Now it doesn't matter which hand you use your left or your right hand. And then you're going to step your leg closest to the hoop. Let's see, can you guys even see me? Just noticing. Let's go back here. Okay, now you're gonna step your leg closest to the hoop, inside the hoop. Okay. And then you're gonna take your other hand that's not holding the hoop and put it right on the side of the hoop, right by your forehead. Reason why you put your hand here is because that's about the area where the hoop comes up to catch the hoop. And putting your hand there also protects the hoop from hitting your head. I'm actually going to move that back up here. Okay, so we're stepping inside the hoop. Got my hand up here ready to catch that hoop. And so as you're holding that hoop, you're going to rotate it close to your body, kind of right just above your belly button area. As you step your other leg into the hoop, you're going to release that hoop really fast into your belly button, and just let the hoop kind of go upward like a corkscrew, and it should come out right about that spot where your hand is to catch. So I'm going to now do that quick. So bring the hoop up, release the hoop, and then catch it, and then go into that hooping lasso above my head. So that's a one leg escalator. Hopefully that was helpful in just learning. I would say that's a very, that's one of the more basic forms of the escalator. Nowadays, people are getting really tricky. I think Karen asked me last week the backwards escalator, the one that I do it, the one that you spin it in into your back. I'm not even going to try that one this week because yeah, I don't even know if I can do that one anymore. But yeah, there's many escalators of varying difficulties. But that's kind of a basic one. You can also do that same sort of escalator with both legs inside the hoop as well, going up to that same spot. But yes, that's the escalator. Hopefully that was helpful. Let's see if anybody else has any more questions. I would like tips on escalator back down, Carla asks. Okay, so let's see. Are you talking about like a reverse escalator? Forgot, can I even do one of those? Okay, so we got it here. Whoa! And then, so are you talking about this? Okay, so let's see if I can even do this one. So are you talking about that form of an escalator? Is that what we're looking here? I'm not sure. The escalator back down. Hopefully that was what you were looking for. Okay. Now I'm getting confused here. Is this the, so I'm gonna I'm gonna ask you guys a question here. So is this a reverse escalator? Is that what we're looking at here? And then it comes back here, but it's more like this. Is that Is that the reverse escalator you guys want to learn? Yes. Okay. Yes. Laturnia says yes. Okay. So for that, depends on which way you're spinning your hoop. So if I'm, let's say, right now I'm kind of moving the hoop around my body to the right, then I bring the hoop up here in front of me, like this sort of position, holding it with both hands. And I'm going to sort of go right in, kind of past that hoop and touch sort of the back of my body, just under my shoulder blade here. And I'm going to just kind of let that hoop fall down. But as I do that, I'm actually going to lift my left leg up so that the hoop can come all the way down, and it should just come right down towards your side. All right. So hopefully that was helpful. So I'm going to go back to the regular escalator. And so now that I'm spinning it here, I'm going to go into that position, which you can also do that spinning the hoop in lasso. Just realize I'm probably confusing everybody right now because I'm doing different things. Let me just go back to what I was doing. Okay, if I'm spinning the hoop around me here, I'm going to come up, bring it into this position, and then quickly my shoulder blade, and then the hoop should just kind of spin back down my body, if that makes any sense. And also, too, while doing this, the whole time you can be holding on to that hoop pretty much. So I'm going to spin the hoop around. And like I said, this whole time, I'm kind of actually just holding on to the hoop. And it comes there. I'm just doing it at a faster speed. So let's try that again. Whoop, that time I was not holding on to the hoop. So I'm going to hold on to the hoop and come back at a faster speed. And then you can kind of go back up in a regular escalator motion. I don't know if that was very helpful. Was that helpful at all? Yeah. Okay. So I know Carla asked that. Was that helpful, Carla? The reverse escalator instructions that I did there. Okay, yes. Yes, I'm glad, Carla, that you found that helpful. Excellent. All right, so I'm going to go back here. Yes, Carmela. Yes, thank you for joining our hoop class. Let's see here. Yes. Can you do an escalator stepping into it, like roll it forward and have it come back? If that makes sense. I'm lost. I'm lost, Han. That does not make sense to me. That form of escalator. Okay, I'm gonna answer. Laugh now, alligator. Do you have any favorite isolations? Favorite isolations. Let's look at an isolation. And to Han, that escalator, if you want to maybe send me a better or a description or another description of what you were asking about that escalator, I might be able to understand it better. But yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by that one. Yes, thank you. Okay, so let's look at isolations. My favorite isolations. Is it okay to just say all of them? I really like. Let me first get this into a better situation here. Okay, how's that? Okay, there we go. That's better. I would say, I really like these cat eye isolations where you can go sort of horizontal cat eyes, and you can also do sort of a vertical cat eye as well, which is really fun. So I would say probably my favorite are the cat eye isolations. Very, very awesome. But in order to do a cat eye isolation, you definitely have to be very skilled at your basic isolation first. Yeah. In order to do sort of, it's almost like you're doing anti-spin sort of movements with your hand to make this work. I'm not sure if you were asking how to do the isolations, but yeah, I would say my favorite isolations are the cat eyes. Let's see here. Oh, thank you, Carla. You like the vertical. Awesome. Yes, thank you. Laugh now, alligator. Yes, the vertical, the vertical is really cool. And, I don't know if the library, how they would feel if I stood on one of these chairs, but I'm going to stand on one of these chairs anyways. If you're going to do the vertical, let's see, I may not have enough. I want this to look really cool. So I'm going to try to get myself more in the shot here. If you're going to do these vertical isolations, sometimes that hoop can hit the ground. So if you actually stand on a ledge, sometimes these vertical isolations can even look better because then you can fully extend down and then that hoop's not going to hit the ground and stop. So if you're going to practice your vertical isolations, I recommend to do it sort of on a ledge where that hoop can go down below the ground level and not hit the ground to get a full extension. Otherwise, if you're doing it on the ground, you're going to be limited to how large your hoop is, and that hoop is going to hit the ground. So that's just a little tip to get more of a full extension on your vertical isolations there. Oh my, I just realized we only have a minute or two left. Okay, so since we only have about a minute left and, there might actually be someone else using this room, I should probably actually wrap it up here. I just want to say, everybody out there, you're awesome. Also want to put out there, so I believe I have a class scheduled February 20th. I'm actually going to cancel that class and reschedule that class to Saturday, February 16th. I think I may potentially go out of town around that time. So if you go on my website, that's where I have all my class information about upcoming live classes, which you can check out at hoopsmiles.com/live hoop class. I also this time left a link in the description to this video, this live feed to go to that class. You can go there, check it out. You can also leave comments of what you want to learn in the future. So yes, thank you so much for being a part of this class. And yeah, I'm drawing a blank here. What was I going to say? I feel like I was going to say something else. Yes. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Carla. Latrinia, Karen hoops a lot, Laugh Now, Alligator, Han, thank you all. If I didn't say your name in there, thank you all for being a part of this. Thank you for the donations. If you want to donate, feel free to donate. If not, it's cool too. And like I said, think about that question I posed in the beginning. How can we make this better? Do you want a more focused class? Do you like this just sort of whatever Q&A, answer people's questions? That's definitely more personal. Do you want it to be a paid class, or do you like that it's not paid and anybody in the world can do it? And then if you want, you can donate. Yeah, so leave your questions. Also, you can visit my website and leave comments about what you want to learn in the next class or whatever. Anyways, yeah, so I'll leave you with that. I felt like this class was way more fun for me this time. It's like I don't want to leave right now. You guys are all awesome and amazing people. Yes. And I wish you all like the best week ever with hula hooping. Hopefully this hula hoop class and instruction was fun and helpful. On that note, I got to get cleaning up here so I can get out of here. And I wish you all the best. Toodaloo. Till next time, you all are awesome and amazing.